today's lesson, we're going to go over a brand new chord, the A minor chord, and then we're going to learn a different fingering for the E minor chord. And we're going to put it all together with various strums and chord progressions for songs such as Blue Moon and Knocking on Heaven's Door. All right, let's get started. Okay, so we're going to go over the A minor chord first. This one we have the first finger on the first fret of the second string, second finger on the second fret of the fourth string, and the third finger on the second fret of the third string. Now we're not going to hit the sixth string on this chord. We're going to start with the fifth string and strum from there. Okay, so put your fingers where they need to go. First finger, first fret of the second string, second finger, second fret of the fourth string, and third finger, second fret of the third string. Strum these 5 strings. One common pitfall I see is the first finger getting in the way of the first string, like that. So you want to rotate the fingers a little bit more. Make sure your fingers are bent right here and here. You don't want to flatten them like so. That's a bad habit right there. So just like this. Okay, so once you're comfortable with that chord, we're going to take it and go back and forth from the A minor to the D7. Now when we do that, we'll notice that the first finger is common on both of those chords. So both of those chords share that finger on the first fret of the second string. So this is an example of a chord pair. Okay, so let's just go back and forth a few times from the A minor to the D7 to get used to that switch. Notice the second finger just moves down 1 string. The third finger moves down 2 strings, but they stay on the same frets. So that's important to notice that. Okay, so once you're ready, let's move right along. A minor for 4 strums, 4 beats of rest, and then D7 for 4 strums, and then 4 beats of rest, and then we'll repeat. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. A minor, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll rest. 2, 3, 4. D7, 2, 3, 4, and then rest. 2, 3, 4. Back to A minor. 3, 4, and then rest. 2, 3, 4. D7, 2, 3, 4, and then rest. 2, 3, 4. All right. Next is the A minor for 4 strums, D7 for 4 strums, and G for 4 strums, 2 measures in a row, so actually 8 strums. And what we're going to do here is use the root note on beat 1 of every measure. So the root note for the A minor chord is the open on the 5th string. That's an open A. So that's the root for the A minor. The root for the D, as we said before, is the open 4th string. And then the root for the G is the 3rd fret and the 6th string. Okay, and remember the D7 to G, we're just going to be sliding the 3rd finger to move between those 2 chords instead of lifting off. I mean, you could lift it off, but it's a little easier just to slide. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Root, and then strum, strum, strum. Root, strum, 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 and then root, strum, 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 and then root again, strum, strum, strum. Back to A minor, root, strum, 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 and then root, strum, 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 and then G, strum, 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 root, strum, strum, strum. All right, now we're going to work on a different fingering for the E minor chord. And this one uses the second finger and the third finger. So second finger is on the second fret of the 5th string, and third finger is on the second fret of the 4th string. And this one works really well when switching from an E minor to an A minor. So let's actually try that right now. So start on an E minor, go to the A minor, back and forth, E minor, A minor, and just get comfortable with that. All right, now once you're ready, we're going to try doing quarter note strums from E minor to A minor. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, E minor, 2, 3, 4, switch to A minor, 2, 3, 4. Let's go back up to E minor, 2, 3, 4, then A minor, 2, 3, 4. Now, with this next chord progression, we're going to be doing 2 strums on the G, 2 strums on the E minor, 2 strums on the A minor, and then 2 strums on the D7. So the first measure has the G and the E minor, and the second measure has the A minor and the D7, and then we're going to repeat. Now this chord progression is very popular. It's actually the backbone for a lot of songs, including Blue Moon by the Marcells. So it sounds like this. Alright, so let's play it together. So we're starting on the G, so put down the G chord. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 2 strums on the G. 1, 2. Switch to the E minor, but we're going to use the second and third fingers. 3, 4. Drop those fingers down, add the first finger for the A minor. 1, 2. And then keep the first finger down, drop these 2 fingers for the D7. 3, 4. Then we're going to slide the third finger back to the G. 1, 2, E minor, 3, 4. Drop the fingers, A minor, and then keep the first finger down for the D7. Okay, let's try that one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. G, E minor, A minor, D7. And G, E minor, A minor, and D7. And you could just resolve that one to a G chord then. That sounds a lot better then. Okay, the next progression features an A minor to a C. So let's practice an A minor to a C. Now this is actually a very, very easy switch because all we're doing is moving the third finger from the 2nd fret of the 3rd string over to the 3rd fret of the 5th string. So watch, here's an A minor, 5th string, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st, just those 5. Now I'm going to take the 3rd finger off and I'm going to move it to the 3rd fret on the 5th string and just strum those 5 strings again. So there's your C chord. So let's practice the E minor, go from A minor to the C, A minor again, and then to the C. Just go back and forth, get comfortable with those 2. And then when you're ready, we're going to play the chord progression for Simple Man by Leonard Skinner, which is actually only 3 chords. It's a C chord, G chord, A minor. And notice we have a C chord on first 2 beats, G chord on 3 and 4, and A minor for the full 2nd measure. Okay, so let's try this together. Start on the C chord. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. C chord for 2 beats. And then the G chord for 2 beats. And then A minor. This is going to require you to switch all the way over here. Okay, so it's quite a switch. 3, 4. Back to C, so we're just going to move the 3rd finger like that. And then the G. And A minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, let's try that one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. C chord, G chord, A minor. 2, 3, 4. C chord, G chord, and A minor. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this is the final chord progression for this lesson. It's actually the chord progression for Knocking on Heaven's Door by Bob Dylan. Now, we're starting on a G chord. This is for 1 bar. And we have a half note, so we hold that for 2 beats. So we go 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and. So it's half note, quarter note, and then 2/8 notes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and. 1, 2, 3, 4, and. Like that. So just 1 bar of the G, 1 bar of the D, same pattern, same strum pattern as the G. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we go to the A minor. This one is held, we have this one for 2 bars, so 2 measures. A little bit different though. We're starting off with that 1, 2, 3, 4, and, but we're holding the and through the first half of beat 1. So we have some syncopation there with that tying the and of 4 to the first half of beat 1. So it'll sound like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2, 3, and 4, and. Let me play that again. It's a little tricky, so listen and try to play along with me then. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2, 3, and 4, and. All right, try playing along with me. We'll go a little bit slower. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2, 3, and 4. All right, so we're gonna work on that a little bit in the practice buddy, so don't worry if you can't get it just yet. Okay, so this is what the entire thing is gonna sound like. And remember, the first time through we're ending on an A minor. The second time through we're going to the C chord for those last 2 bars. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and C chord, 2, 3, 4, and 2, 3, and 4, and. All right, and don't forget, on the ands of 4, you could actually switch to the next chord. So, for example, when you're on the G, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2, 3, and 4, switch. 1, 2, switch, switch. And then I always like to resolve to the G chord then on this one. All right, so excellent job today. Work on the practice buddy for this lesson. Make sure you get the A minor chord and then the E minor chord with the 2nd and 3rd fingers, switching back and forth between all the variations, and then working on the chord progressions for Blue Moon and Knocking on Heaven's Door. All right, great job. Have fun, and I will see you next time.